Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We are back in the Doomlink's Life Hunt series, and we are, as you can probably already tell, launching Generations Ultimate. I did, of course, check 3 Ultimate before attempting to record anything, and there were 0 people playing that game. Now that doesn't necessarily guarantee that I'm never going to be able to find a group if I were to sit there, make a room, and wait, but the chances are very low. You can earn platinum points, says the Nintendo Switch. As exciting as that is, I'm just going to have to not inquire further as to how I can acquire platinum points, because I'm just going to have to take the priorities as they come. The priority at this stage being to play the fucking video game in front of me and to entertain my audience. I don't know what the state of the online community of Generations Ultimate is at the moment in regards to the number of people playing, but we're about to find out. Is there going to be... Okay, there are going to be people. We've got Jon Snow. I actually read that as Join Snow. I'm not sure if there's some kind of relevance to the symbols that are in his name there, but it doesn't especially interest me one way or the other. We've got a name that I cannot read. Lucy and Up to You. What does Up to You mean? Does that mean that in every single room that you're in, it's up to me, or up to someone other than yourself, as to what quest is going to be posted? That would be a very interesting challenge, almost. Play through the game, but have it be the case where only other people can post quests. You can never post your own quest, and you have to somehow get through all the key quests, and also get to the end game, and forge weapons and armor only based off the quests that other people post. It's certainly doable, and maybe would make for an interesting series, but I don't think it's something that I would want to do. That sounds a little frustrating. If someone takes that idea, it's alright. You don't have to financially support me for that, but you can, indeed, give some kind of head nod by way of verbal acknowledgement. That I would appreciate. This was Doomlink's idea. Alright. Yamatori-san in the chat has expressed his opinions regarding Generations Ultimate. Very forcefully, he says, MHGU is cancer. I don't agree. If I really felt that way about it, I wouldn't be playing the game. The community, however, is definitely in need of some kind of improvement. I don't know how one would even begin to improve the community. I suppose an individual can go into the community and not be a fuckwit, and then possibly lead by example under those circumstances, but outside of that, I really don't know how improvement could come. Maybe encouraging older Monster Hunter players to enter this community and maybe raise the average IQ by at least some measure. That would be nice, but anyway. There aren't many other rooms for me to be joining, so here I am in this room with Roenti. I'm just going to... or Roentai, maybe it's Roentai, Roenti, I don't really know, and it doesn't especially matter. There's every possibility that I'm not going to be staying in this room for long enough to really have that mean anything. Because this person may be AFK, and therefore unresponsive, at which point it would be entirely unnecessary to continue hanging around in the room. But it turns out that the person is here, and we're going to find out what they post. If it's a deviant, I'll be annoyed. If it's a high-rank deviant, I will leave immediately. So that is the spectrum. We've got annoyed, and then we've got absolutely unwilling to engage, resulting in immediate departure from the room. We'll see what happens. He's either making a decision as to what he wants to post, or he's having difficulty finding the quest that he intends to post. Okay, you do mean the player base, Yamatori. Well, I agree. I suppose by extension one could say, every time I play this game one can experience or expect to bear witness to cancer, or some sort of manifestation of that concept. Speaking of manifestations of the concept of cancer, we've got a person at Hunter rank 54. Oh. Admittedly, you are in need of some sort of character-based improvement. Loadout-based improvement. So I suppose you probably would do well to do high rank quests depending on what you're forging, but seriously, it's not really what I'm looking for. There's no information here suggesting that it has to be G rank level, but I don't really care how many people or how few people are playing this game. I'm not doing high rank. You can find another group. Turns 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, slightly redundant. Turns by default should be... Oh, no. That was Dread Queen 2. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. I'm sure it would please him greatly to have some assistance with that high-rank deviant quest, but it's not happening, my friend. We've got CC. Means various things. I'm not going to start listing all the possible meanings of CC. But maybe this person has an interesting quest to post. Of course, there is an alternative to all of what I'm dealing with right now. And that is for me to post my own room, and then wait patiently for people to join. There is also a solution in terms of how I present these recordings to the downtime between the beginning of the recording and actually getting on a hunt, and that is to actually begin recording when I do have a group to sit down and play with. But at the end of the day, it's more entertaining for me to sit here and talk to you / talk to myself while finding people to play with. Xander has entered the room. He has walked up to the quest board, which is the right place to go. If he were going to the quest giver, I would be reprimanding him fiercely. I will give CC 60 seconds to start moving. If this person is unresponsive, I will leave the room and make my own room. Because quite frankly, I shouldn't have too much difficulty getting people. There is a little bit of entertainment to be experienced when you just try to join random rooms, but if I'm not getting results, it's not actually worthwhile in the end. Results, of course, appertaining to quests that I can join, depart on, and then complete for entertainment purposes. I'd say that's 40 seconds. Oh, well, the fact that you're here, Yamatori, does encourage me further to make my own room. You know what, let's get out of here. Whether this CC person returns or not, I think making my own room is the most sensible decision for me to make at this stage. I'm going to call it G rank. Just do it. Why do I have to press the start button 3 times to get that selection to actually add itself to the Create Hub page? And I could have conceived of many ways to explain that, and they all would have been more articulate than that. That's fuck me sideways. Sometimes the simple things can be a struggle. Alright, G rank, HR minimum, we're gonna put it at, oh fine, 13. To be inclusive, I will make it 13. Which may still sound like I'm excluding people, but I'm not. I don't really want people doing their key quests in my room. Sometimes I am willing to render assistance to such people, but not today. That is wine, Xeno. Or this is wine, rather. My water goblet is rather larger than this. Okay. Feel free to post something, Yamatori. Given you're at Hunter rank 346, you've probably got a few things to work on at least. Your next guess was vodka. Vodka in a wine glass. And this much of it. I don't hate myself, incidentally. In case anyone needed to know, I do not hate myself, and I do not drink large volumes of vodka in wine glasses. TLPD, what does that mean? Talk like a pirate day? What am I looking at? It must mean something. I've never been good with acronyms, I have to confess, but it's partially because I wasn't born in the United States of America. But furthermore, I just wish people would speak English. That's a comment on acronyms as a whole, not just in the context of people's names. Okay, now we're going to move on. So it's just standard Agnaktor. Could do Hyper if you want. We've got a group of 4 people at G rank level. I think Hyper would be appropriate, but I also don't mind if we want to do standard. I do have a loadout that would be appropriate for this quest, but I must have used it when I was last recording this game, so I'm going to choose something different in the interest of variety. It will be a longsword, actually. I have a distinct feeling that the last time I used a longsword, the last time I fought Agnaktor, I was using a longsword. If not the last time, it would have been one of the last times that I hunted an Agnaktor, but I don't care. I feel like using a longsword. Do I have a blunt longsword option for water? I think I do. My nose is a little itchy. I don't know why I felt the need to say it like that. No, not premium hairblade, that's a joke weapon. That's why I have that. I'll equip Incurvisera Talos for now. Here we go, no. Aha, Empyrean Eve. Okay, we'll use that. Now this is an example of one of the blunt weapons that I use, which does not actually start out with green sharpness. It has a lot of green sharpness, and I suppose if you add on the yellow sharpness, it stays in blunt territory for a long time. I just have to wear down the white and blue sharpness first. So a little bit of patience is required with this loadout. Bludgeoner is not immediately effective, but it will be in time. That's the situation. If you're wondering why I have opted to do that for this blunt loadout, it's because there were no alternatives. There were no weapons for water in the longsword weapon type that would have worked well with Bludgeoner. So, and I think I mentioned the water element, right? Yes. Needless to say, I was looking for a blunt water longsword and this was the best I could come up with. It works well enough. All weapons is running into a solid wall. Well, an invisible wall is how I would refer to that. May still be solid, but not necessarily visible. My nose is itchy. And in a bad spot too. Like, the sort of spot where it would look like you were picking your nose if you went to scratch it. Which is why I'm just going to have to endure it. Alright. Let's get these drinks, not necessarily because I need them now, actually partially because I need them now, because I would have been departing on this volcano hunt with only 2 hot drinks. Excuse me, 2 cool drinks. Yes. Not hot drinks, but cool drinks. That is what I need for this hunt. I'm ready to go. Apparently, Xeno feels personally attacked because I said that people who drink vodka out of wine glasses are people who hate themselves. I don't know. I personally think that if you're going to drink a spirit, you should not drink vodka. I'm sure there are nice vodkas out there. It's just, generally speaking, as a spirit, it's just bad. not particularly good at all. I don't know why people drink it. It's bizarre. I mean, you've got so many alternatives. There's no particular reason why you would drink vodka over any other spirit. I suppose if you're going to mix it with something, fine, but... And that's particularly because the flavor of the spirit in question is less important. It's because you're mixing it with something that is going to therefore become the dominating flavor of what you're consuming. In which case, mixing it with, let's say, gin, for instance, would probably not be as advisable. But in the case of vodka, it often acts as a fairly robust alcoholic base to something a little more flavorful, or flavorsome. But, yeah, vodka on its own, no. What's the point? What is the fucking point? It's just a garbage spirit. I do really hate the fact that I haven't the ability to not evade, I suppose avoid would be the word, but more specifically resist the roars of monsters with this loadout. It upsets me. And I say it every time. I'm sure you're sick of it by now. Those of you who have watched many of these recordings. This Apsaros will hopefully get, and he did, a fire laser to the body. I'm, as a longsword user, being repeatedly flinched by a fellow longsword user. The taste of my own medicine, I suppose. You get the fuck away from me. You fire salamander thing. I will activate Unhinged Spirit at a time that I deem to be convenient. Just managing my charge gauge here. Elongating it, effectively. I'm really surprised that this guy has succeeded in flinching me this many times with his longsword, especially considering that I'm also using the same weapon type. Maybe he has a particular talent for that sort of play. It's the I'm a dickhead strategy. Look at me, I am literally a living, breathing, sentient, I don't know, piece of male genitalia. I don't like the word piece, that's what tripped me up there. I don't like the word piece to describe that. Unless he is a codpiece, he could be a codpiece. Yes, maybe he's my codpiece. That's disgusting. Anyway. We do have Unhinged Spirit in effect. And I will hopefully reach green sharpness soon. My only concern at this stage is that I will probably not reach green sharpness before this monster dies. Because again, it's just a standard Argnoctor and we've got a full group of G-rank hunters here. Which means that I won't be able to demonstrate to you all the benefits of Bludgeoner in conjunction with this particular weapon. Which is a shame. Yes, well that would be another way to refer to it, Xeno. Here we go. I managed to reach green sharpness. We have 393 raw attack with 15 elements. It's actually not that good, to be honest. Could be worse, I suppose, but... Yeah, I'm not especially impressed. Not especially impressed. The element is almost inconsequential. It's almost pointless. Anyway. Good hunt, I suppose. It was not going to be challenging at all, but it turned out well, so I will congratulate the team, at least verbally here. I'm not going to take the time to send a message of good hunt in the chat in-game. But yeah, the verbal congratulations will suffice, hopefully. For those who couldn't hear my words, hopefully the sentiment will carry through to them. My strength of feeling will reach them in their hearts. Yeah, you carve the ground. I should have critical junctured that. I missed an excellent opportunity. That would have been a cinematic moment. Oh well. Bad luck. I'm assuming that critical juncture can actually proc when a teammate hits you. I've never actually tried that, but it would make sense. The only thing that I only hesitate to completely commit to that assumption because I've never, at least to my recollection, had it proc from anything other than a monster attack. And one would imagine that at some point you're eventually going to have a teammate hit you when you're doing that, but it's never yet happened. So, yeah, if it does work, then I've been unlucky. Okay. Elder Frost G form. Incidentally, I do actually need Elder Frost stuff. I'm sure you guys remember, but I was put off doing Elder Frost because I was trying to get trunk spines, and then some asshole died 3 times during my quest when I was pretty much in the running to get a minimum of 2 trunk spines from Elder Frost. And so we had maybe 12 minutes worth of a hunt completely wasted. Like, the second Elder Frost was about to die, and that guy died for a 3rd time, and I was fuming. I was very upset. Anyone would be. Don't come on my hunt. Fuck off somewhere else if you're gonna do that. It's destructive to my experience in the game. Anyway. What do I want to use? Something that can repeatedly hit the trunk spine, hopefully. Maybe a sword and shield. There are possibly better choices, but this is what I feel like using at the moment. I'm just going to let everyone know that I'm not going to do a lowercase I at the start of a sentence. That actually hurts to look at. I need trunk spines. I'd say most people that are doing this monster need trunk spines. They're in high demand, but they're difficult to get. At least in my experience. I've needed a lot of them, and I've acquired a lot of them, but I still need more. And it's fucking annoying. Just for the benefit of anyone who's unfamiliar with this fact. My blunt weaponry is a little lacking in the ice department because most of my, in fact I think all of my blunt ice weapons are Elder Frost weapons. Well, future blunt ice weapons, at least. And I've only got 2, I think. There's probably another 3 that I intend to make, but they all require a number of trunk spines, which I consider to be an almost prohibitive requirement for the weapons that I want to make, so... I'm sure in time I'll be able to get them, but... the weapons, that is. But it's not something that I could be bothered actively grinding for. I couldn't be bothered actually trying to get trunk spines all the time. Or to really commit to a hunting session where I get all the trunk spines that I need. I feel like I feel like it might be a better choice to just try to get them whenever someone posts Elder Frost, rather than turn up my nose at the quest and refuse to do it, which I have been tempted to do, because I've done a number of Elder Frost monsters. I really have. Let's have a look, shall we? Check. There we go. Elder Frost Gammoth. I definitely haven't hunted as many of them as, say... what's it called again? That fucking Nagakuga. Silverwind Nagakuga. Yeah, 106 Silverwind Nagakuga. Haven't hunted as many as that, but I've done probably around 60. What have we got? No, 50. 60 was an appropriate guess, but 50 Elder Frost Gammoth still feels like a lot, because I've never really enjoyed the hunt at all. So having to do 50 of a hunt that you never really enjoyed in the first instance is a little unpleasant. More than a little unpleasant. Alright, let's get out of here. I've let everyone know what I want. So if people actively decide to not aim for the trunk and instead aim for other things, fuck them. I've informed the team to the best of my ability. Or perhaps not. I suppose I could be nagging them. Are you going to aim for it, huh? I need everyone to verbally sign off on a commitment to aim for the trunk spine. Or aim for the trunk, to get trunk spines, before we depart on this hunt. Technically, I could do that, at which point I could comfortably say, yep, this is about as far as I could possibly go in informing the team of my desire to have the trunk broken. But I wouldn't be doing that. For obvious reasons. And somehow I don't think it's going to work to have 3 fellow hunters as signatories to some sort of commitment in a video game. I'm sure they can go back on it at any time. Alright, we're starting off with Blangonga. I think I did successfully roll that, but it was an elongated hitbox. Oh, fuck off, I know what you're doing. Fortunately, the Blangonga actually sponged the initial impact of the Bullfango, which was good. No. No. I truly hate this monster. Hyper Blangonga is one of my least favorite monsters in the series. I'm not just saying that because I suddenly find myself filled with displeasure as I fight this monster right now. I've always felt this way, and I've probably mentioned it a number of times before on camera. I do not like this monster at all. To start with, I fucking hate monkeys. In general, actually. Not just in Monster Hunter, but in general. And it just so happens that monkeys also fucking suck in Monster Hunter. Now, you give a monkey infinite stamina, high damage, high speed, and you've got an unpleasant monster on your hands. Look at this prick. He won't stop doing things. Just as I lowered my guard. Oh, I hate you with all my fucking heart. All of my heart and passion that exists in my small and delicate human body. It is all directed in your vicinity. Oh, look who's coming. I fucking pressed the block button, but I guess my character was too busy, I don't know, standing there doing nothing in that moment to actually respond to my controller input. I fuck it. It really did look like he was coming after me, but he went off somewhere else, so whatever. Here we go, face opportunity. A little bit off target there. I can't see what on earth is going on. And I don't really... No, I really don't need that. I hate this hunt. Because it has a Blangonga in it. It looked like the Blangonga was jumping in the air to avoid the trunk swinging of the Gammoth. That was good. I don't even know what's going on anymore, and I almost don't care. I feel so jaded at this point that I just... All Weapons has just straight up abandoned the quest. He is not even willing to give it a try. He's done. He's done with it. He's actually forced us... Why did I add a T there? He's forced us to go on. That's why I added a T, because I was going to say to as a conjunction, but then didn't formulate the O sound, so I sounded as if I had a speech impediment. Which perhaps I do at this stage. He has actually forced us to go and 3-man this shitty hunt, when he could have actually just committed to helping us out, and then it would be easier for everyone. No, of course not. That would be good sportsmanship now, wouldn't it? Oof. Let's head on over here and keep fighting that stupid monkey. I hate playing Gonga. Why do they bring back the Pelagus monsters? Why would they do that? What were they thinking? I sort of understand Rajang. He has a special place in the monster lineup of the series, but fucking Blangonga, really? Yeah. Capcom was sitting around going, what monsters do people want to see? Blangonga. Cephadrome. Laoshan Lung. Yep. That is my fucking dream wish list of monsters to fight in Monster Hunter right there. Absolutely. Sometimes I don't know what the fuck they're thinking, and then I realize that they're not actually thinking. Which can be an eye-opener when you realize it. You go, oh, well, of course. Here I am trying to find the logic in the thought process, but there is no logic to the thought process because there's no thought process to begin with. So, of course, there's no logic. Silly Doomlink. That's Capcom. In pretty much any generation of Capcom's existence or iteration in this series, there is no fucking logic. It's just, this whole series is a happy accident, okay? I'm telling you. Kill it. Kill this monkey shit. Eviscerate it. Should have paintballed it. I think it's heading to Area 3, so I'll make my way over there. Ugh. My hair is between the collar of my jacket and my neck, and it's heating up the back of my neck. Ugh. Not a pleasant sensation. Almost looked like you were laying an egg in that fucking thing. One of those burned husks made it look like a nest and the Geoprey was laying an egg or something. Geoprey ecology. Egg laying. Alright, come on. That would have done something, I'm sure. In fact, it did a thing that saved us a bit of time. It killed the damn monster. TLPD in his infinite wisdom and observant play continued attacking a dead monster, however. Alright. Let's go and find that Gamoth. I've only got 3 people to do it. Because one of the group of 4 likes to eat excrement for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But who am I to judge? Maybe I should just live my own life and let other people do the same. Yes, I'm about to psycho-serum for a fucking Gamoth, okay? I don't care. Haha, he's psycho-seruming for a Gamoth. Yeah. Oh, here we go. I'm glad I didn't go towards Area 7. That would have been a very bad idea. That would have been a terrible waste of time. Anyway. You're attacking nothing. Well, you were charging at nothing. You were a bit late to be running after Yamatori. Anyway, let's go and fight this big mammoth thing. Of course I would get caught in the very tail end of that raw period. It's always pleasing to see Blangos being caught up in the attacks of the monster, but it would be all the more pleasing to see them actually die and stop existing in this area entirely. Yamatori is dead, and I'm doing my utmost to get towards the tusk. Not the tusk. That would be plural anyway. But the trunk. I would like to get close to the trunk, and at this stage, It's looking to be a challenging task. My DPS is going to end up in the toilet, and at that stage you may as well be flushing the toilet, because I don't know what kind of joke I was trying to make there, but seriously, if in trying to hit the trunk I'm going to have terrible DPS, it may actually be counterintuitive to be aiming for it. What is going on? Oh, for fuck's sake, I didn't know that there was a tremor risk there. Oh, for goodness sake. Yeah, congratulations, seriously. You positioned yourself so that I was between a wall and you. No. Can I just say that I hate this monster? And I'm sick of fighting it? Yeah, okay. And he's dead. Seriously? What if we fail this hunt after all this? Am I gonna have a second Gamorth failure? Seriously? Now, I thought I was safe in the position where I was standing. I apparently was not. Just do your attack and get your trunk close to me. But of course, huge tremor. Ho ho. Wasting more of my time. This really is a fucking birthday present of a hunt. No, it's not my birthday, I'm just saying. I'm just trying to think of something sarcastic to say. And then I realised that people may misunderstand that comment to mean that it's my birthday, which it's not, okay? Don't wish me happy birthday, because it's not. But I won't stop you in the end. Ugh. Well, this is definitely happening. This is the hunt to end all fun and enjoyment in a monster hunting career. The termination of all that makes one smile. Okay, now get that fucking trunk. I don't want the tusks, I want the trunk. Get your stupid snowball. Go and play your snowball fighting game somewhere else. You juvenile mammoth shit. Swing your trunk around. Give me Snowblight. The whole deal. Do it all. Why hold back? No. Yeah, really, why hold back at this stage? I'm your only target. I'm the only one in the room. Really? Yeah, that's... See, that guy over there doesn't exist. No. Don't let yourself be distracted, Gamorth, really. Okay, there's another hunter! Just to let you know... Oh, he's leaving the area. I thought he was just tracking me. I was about to get really upset. Okay. Are we going to succeed? This is the question. My general feeling is that we're not, but that doesn't mean I'm going to stop trying. Thank you, Weaver. Really. Apparently this is a... I'm not even going to repeat that. Anyway. I was about to paintball this Gamorth and then I realised that we'd be very hard-pressed to lose sight of it. That was really satisfying to watch that Bullfango die like that. TLPD is... What's he doing? He's dropping a pitfall trap. He waited so long. Oh, it's very good of you to ping for the trap, despite the fact that I'm running towards it. Fucking numpty. Shut your mouth. Come here, guys! I dropped a trap! Prick. Alright. Yes. I know that the attack is coming, and I was ready to avoid it. No. See, this is one of the problems with Gamoth. He just swings his trunk around aimlessly, and that becomes an attack. He does it randomly and without warning, and it's annoying, especially if the trunk happens to be your target, which is his for me. Alright, I'll attack the front legs while you're doing that business, and now I'll attack the trunk. You tell me how successful this endeavor has been. Not the tremor again. I was going to attack the monster, but I have to consume a beverage instead. Yeah, Gamoth is one of my cursed monsters, I suppose. It's the, if you depart on a quest with a Gamoth, you're gonna fail. You know that thing where you need a bunch of trunk spines? Forget that, because you're not going to be able to do a Gamoth hunt that will succeed. Which is always good. Alright, catch you later, Xena. My future hunts will get better if we don't fight a fucking Elderfrost Gamoth again. My Elderfrost Gamoth tolerance level has just reached an all-time low, and I think I need a 6-month break. I'm fucking sick of it. I just can't do it anymore. That'll do me. So who posted that quest? I think that was player 3, so Yamatori, go post something, man. Doesn't matter what. As long as it's G rank. Don't post some high rank. I mean, you wouldn't. I know you wouldn't, but just to clarify, I would die inside. I'd probably die both internally and externally if you posted a high rank deviant at this stage. With great power comes great responsibility. We've got a hammer user who has just greeted us in Mandarin. He is using a good loadout. Not a particularly creative one, but a good loadout nonetheless. Hello, says TLPD, despite the fact that he also speaks Mandarin. I don't know if that's his way of being inclusive of the rest of us, or as in player 1 and 2, or if he just couldn't be bothered speaking in his native tongue. Player 4 is antsy. Or at least that was the impression that he gave off initially. It's a mystery. What's gonna end up on the quest board? We'll find out soon. But for now, it's a mystery. We get extra rewards for Basarios, so maybe we can do Basarios. That's just a suggestion. In fact, you really don't have to listen to me. Post whatever you want, honestly. Oh, Yamatori doesn't want to post. If you have just given this guy the green light to repost his previous fucking quest, I'm gonna put my head through a wall. And the walls in my residence are pretty fucking solid. Oh my god. You have This guy has thanked you twice for giving him the opportunity to post this quest again. And for good fucking reason. Holy shit. The turn should have gone to player 4, man. And you know that. I only reverted back to you because after player 3 comes player 1 and I skipped, so I went to you, but... Jesus. I'm not doing this quest. I mean, this is the sad reality. I'm not doing it, so there's two options. Either this guy chooses a different quest, or he leaves, or I leave. That's the situation. I'm not doing another Elderfrost Gamorph. It's not happening. And I don't know if I really want to explain to this guy that I'm not doing his quest. I don't really know how to begin to explain that. Is it my right to tell him no? Excuse me. Fuck it. That's fine. You are welcome to try and join me again, Yamatori, but I'm gonna spin the wheel, so to speak. All weapons has made a crystal beard 4 hunt. You are a numpty. Clear expert. What does that mean? We're gonna find out. Piero is doing something, and hopefully it's G rank. Clear expert. Oh, it's not even his room. Shit. That's never a good start. He was the last person left in a room that was not made by him. And indeed, who knows if he's even got an objective? Who knows if he's even here? He might be AFK. I'm gonna need a bucket of ice water to put my head in. I'm just gonna dunk my head in ice water on camera. But I don't think even that would cool me off at this stage. I'm gonna give Piero 60 seconds. Yeah, 60 seconds to do something. Say something, move around. 60 seconds. Well, more like 50 now. Fuck off, I'm not waiting for longer. Stop going to disconnect. God, you can just go to connect, it's faster. Alright. Bloodbath EX with CN forever. Event. How hard is it? Just write the fucking event quest name. How hard is that? Fuck. I'm gonna find out what this guy's doing. I've got no idea what he's doing. If it's an event quest, there's a chance that it'll be unpleasant, but it's something that I would actually be willing to do. Unpleasant is fine at that stage. At least it's not Elderfrost Gamorph. I'm not going to fail my third Elderfrost Gamorph, and even if I did succeed in that third attempt, I don't want to do it again. I've had enough. I'm not going to say, oh, I'm not going to do an Elderfrost for the next 6 months and then immediately join up on an Elderfrost hunt. I didn't say it as some kind of joke. I said it because I'm genuinely sick of that monster, and I don't want to see it again for some time. At this stage, I don't think I'm even going to get into this room. So, that's great. Whenever you'd like to abandon the attempt to connect to the player, that would be great. Alright, let's refresh. What have we got? Micnibus. Okay. Silverwind EX. Sorry, Yamatori. While I do want to have a room for you to join, this one is sadly only open to one person, which at this stage is myself. I read that as King Nicaragua, actually, but it's actually King Nicara. They just completed a Silverwind EX hunt. We'll see what's next on the agenda, I really don't know. I wonder if the Bloodwind Hunter art is more effective with the Bloodwind Scards? That's the question. They're not. It would be an interesting Easter egg, though. This guy's got fucking Mushroom Answer. That's a good throwback. We've got Hellblade G2. Not an exceptionally exciting quest to be put on the board, but it's something that I'm willing to do, which at this stage is about as good as it gets. I do feel like going ranged, but I don't know what ranged loadout I'd like to use, so I'll have to think about it briefly. We'll go bow. Yeah. Heavy water sounds like a good way to enjoy this hunt. That sounds like a strategy that I could employ to at least be able to derive some degree of enjoyment from Hellblade. So, I'd say that's a good decision. A good choice of loadout. Not doing that. What was that? Squid noodles? Ew. I imagine noodles made out of squid, which probably would be fine, to be honest. I'm not so much a fan of seafood. Some people are, I'm not. I don't mind mild fish, but really fishy flavors don't do it for me. Which is to say that squid, or I guess to expand on that point, squid is fine. It doesn't have a strong flavor usually. So, yeah, squid noodles, if they were made of actual squid, would probably be fine. So I'm being a little dramatic by reacting negatively to that idea. And that's fine, Yamatori. That is how things go sometimes. I'm more concerned at the failure of preventing that guy from posting his fucking Elderfrost again, which I could have seen coming from space. But that's alright. What are we hunting again? Oh yeah, Hellblade. He's taking a stroll on the beach, which is quite funny. I do love this location though. This is part of why DOS was such an amazing game at the time. This location was amazing. Monster Hunter goes to the seaside. That's how it felt like. So it's just a level 3 charge, very well. That's quite alright. Oh, for goodness sake. There is such a thing as too much of a good thing, Glavinus. Oh, come on. It's camera business. How the fuck did I avoid that? Well, I didn't avoid it. I just happened to not get hit by him. I feel like the word avoid implies intention to evade. Which is definitely not what happened there. Before I knew what the hell was going on, I had somehow evaded death. Well, avoided. I don't know. I give up. Let's move on. I'm gonna try and get that on the... Close enough, I guess. Stamina management at this stage is not great. I'd like to be shooting a little more frequently than I am. I can immediately ameliorate this concern. Or allay this concern? Yeah. Allay this concern. Ameliorate this issue by just consuming Mega Dash Juice. But I'm feeling lazy. And I feel like, well, I was about to make two conflicting statements. I was about to say, in the first instance, that I'm feeling lazy. And then second of all, I was going to say, I feel like challenging myself, which do not go hand in hand, incidentally. I do feel like challenging myself, and I simultaneously couldn't be bothered consuming a Mega Dash juice. Does that amount to a form of laziness? I don't think so. Anyway. May look a little strange to be aiming my bow in the way that I am, but that's heavy shot for you. You get a sense for the trajectory with your aiming, but it's definitely not directly on target as such. That was definitely off target, because I completely forgot how to aim triple volley. And quite unsatisfactorily, I only have triple volley level 2. Holy shit, what a fucking... Oh, that's... Oh my god. I nearly shat, to be honest. I thought that was just a single one that we were hunting, but that was one of 2, which makes that a little more realistic. If that was the health of a monster that was one of 2 monsters in a hunt, then that makes a lot more sense that it died so quickly. That may be the first time that I've had a one-zone kill for one of the Glavenus monsters in this game. I meant to say on camera. Did I say on camera? You know when you start a sentence and you forget how you started the sentence, so you're a bit worried as to whether or not you included the relevant information at the start that you have chosen to omit from the conclusion of the sentence upon the assumption that you did mention it at the outset? Well, that was the situation that I was just in there. As for whether or not that's interesting, I'm not going to make a judgment at this time. My power coatings are officially out, so it is elemental coating time. Seeing as though I've done the first hunt without any Mega Dash juice, I will continue with no Mega Dash juice. I don't really want to be shooting you from this distance. Yeah, what a stupid idea. The arrow can't even travel. Just goes straight into the monster. May as well be a rapid shot. You motherfucker. Don't get caught in the tail shenanigans. Obviously, whenever I can, I try to get my arrows into the elemental weak point. I think I'm running, 40 element here, which is pretty good, and obviously considering that I'm using elemental coatings, it is all the more sensible for me to be aiming for that elemental weak point when I can. It's just, it's a tail and I'm using heavy shots. Heavy shots are not impossible to be accurate with, it's just a little more challenging. And I don't know. Heavy shots in general are quite damaging, so you don't always have to be hitting a weak point. Oh my god, I hate you. Every time I fucking position myself to hit this monster, you're just there with your gun. And I'm sick of it. You're a nuisance. I suppose I should be more of a team player than that. It's a bad attitude, but I don't care. I'm sick of it. I mean, when it happens enough times, you just have to sit there and go, fuck this guy. I don't care how he's contributing. I want to play the game without being flinched endlessly. Ugh. Let me have a whinge every now and then again. Well, I say whinge in the sense that, complaining without good reason. That's how I choose to... Wait, did you see that? The monster had left the area, but the slicing shot remained affixed to some invisible point of the monster in the area where he was previously residing. And then it dealt some kind of damage, I don't know. That was really weird. Intriguing, to say the least. Alright, elemental coating, level 1. We failed to one-zone this guy. That conga failed to hit me with a body slam, thankfully. But because we did one-zone the last one, I can only assume that this particular one is quite close to dying. One can only hope. I hate it when you go in for that biting attack. It's very well positioned. If he's decided to hit you with that biting attack, you better believe you'll be getting hit by it. Well, it's very good of him to go over there. That's much easier to deal with. I never did carve the first Glavenus, and I don't especially care, but I really don't like the games, and there are many of them, where the monsters despawn really quickly. I hate that. And I don't care that you're awake, because you're already dead. It means doing a wake-up hit would have been unnecessary, because your health is almost non-existent anyway. Or at least the health that remains is almost non-existent. Anyway, a successful hunt, but only got half my carbs. I don't see a good reason for monsters to despawn so quickly. I absolutely despise it. There were certain Monster Hunter games where that didn't happen. Monsters just stayed there. But I don't know if it's somehow helpful for the game's performance to not keep a body there. I don't see why it has to. If the body can no longer be hit, it's just a visual asset and doesn't actually have to... I don't really know how to describe it. The terminology when it comes to graphic design and video processing escapes me, but you know, it doesn't have to be processed as a part of the scene. It's a visual thing. I don't know. Ugh, my neck. But yeah, I don't think that it needs to disappear like that. That's an interesting final screen. You can see that I'm about to aim upwards for a heavy shot on the face as he walks forward into it. It's nice. An action shot. Hot-blooded +6, reload speed +3, 3 slot, not very good. And, well, not too bad, but nothing that I would use. I will be uploading part 198 very soon, by the way. This is part 199. I was supposed to upload it this morning, but I forgot. If you wonder why there isn't really a consistent upload schedule for my live hunts videos, it's because sometimes I try to allow a certain amount of exposure to take place for one recording, like the most recent one, and then I'll upload the next one. And then other times I'll forget to upload something. It sort of depends, but yeah. I would have been content to upload 198 this morning, but I didn't. It is the evening now. It's 10:38 PM, so yeah, it'll go up soon. Within the next 3 hours, I would guess. Hellblade G3. You dick. You really think I want to hunt 2 Hellblades simultaneously? Hold on. Didn't you host the last one? You did. So where do you get off hosting twice? This is a turns room, man. He was the red player in the previous hunt, which means that he has taken it upon himself to host twice. This greedy, inconsiderate little bastard. It's a turns room. He was kicked for that. He was fucking kicked for that, and so he should have been. That is the right way to approach it. Micnibus. Very nicely done. Player 4 has responded with a wall of Chinese characters. This person obviously doesn't know how turns rooms actually operate or function. Or perhaps more accurately, this person doesn't know what the word turns means. Player 2, apparently. What? What is going on? It is not your place to even decide that. Why are you deciding that? You're not the room host. And why would you be? Player 2. Unless you're... What is going on? Are you going to get kicked immediately now? So, how did this go? Nakara hosts a hunt, completes the hunt, tries to host again a second time consecutively, despite the fact that it's a turns room, and then gets kicked for that. Player 4 then tries to coordinate the room, then gets kicked for that, presumably. And now this Hunter rank 12 is walking around with his either urgent quest or his, no, just key quest, and he has yet to be kicked, but to be honest, I feel like it's not too far away. It seems Micnibus is willing to do it, and to be honest, I am too. I have a distinct feeling that player 4 told me to post because he was skipping himself, but then that means he was skipping himself and the room host, which seemed to be a point of disagreement for the room host. So I don't really know what's going on, other than turns rooms are not complicated. But this community, being as useless as it is, still manages to create drama, confusion, and just... Oh, what's the word that I'm looking for? There are frequent impasses that are reached in what should be a very simple and free-flowing process of turns room etiquette. But no one can observe that. It's just a free-for-all of stupidity. And sometimes it's entertaining, and other times it's fucking annoying. So yeah. All weapons has returned. The guy who left in the middle of an Elder Frost hunt, which forced us to 3-man it, and it was a failure of a quest anyway. At least I think that was the guy. I know that I hunted with him before, I don't know, I don't really care anymore. All the idiots that I'm hunting with are blending into one giant waste of time and space and everything. Well, see, I don't really know the circumstances, Yamatori-san. But by the looks of it, he did leave voluntarily. I mean, he abandoned the quest. He didn't disconnect. He abandoned, then left. And then, when we closed our room, I saw that he had already made a room of his own. So, from what I can tell, he did voluntarily leave. And then he went and made a different room. In the middle of a hunt. For no real reason. It was an inexplicable course of action which resulted in... Maybe it didn't result in failure, but it certainly didn't help. Holy shit. My friend, rude and uncultured. No, you're misunderstanding. It's not because he's Chinese that he's done that. You're making a mistake if you think that he's gone and posted his own quest without asking for permission or anything like that. Because he's Chinese, okay? I understand why it might be tempting to make that assumption and to cast such aspersions upon the Chinese community, because the thing is, if you haven't experienced other Monster Hunter games, and this is the one that you mainly play, and you liken certain styles of online interaction with this community, which is predominantly Chinese, you'll start to think that this is just a specifically Chinese thing. It's not. Every culture and every spoken language under the sun that interacts in a community in Monster Hunter will have people doing the same thing. They enter rooms, see that there's an opportunity to post a quest, they'll post it, sit there and pray that people join it. It's just what happens. And it's not unique to this game, it's not unique to the Chinese culture, and it's probably not unique to Monster Hunter, technically speaking, either. It's actually something of a defect in the human condition. And it ultimately relates to lack of consideration. That's really what it is. So, yeah, calling him an uncultured Chinese person is a little uncalled for. I think this person should try and, well, maybe it's a bit late now, but they should recognize that they are inexperienced when it comes to the Monster Hunter community. I've said it many times, but the Monster Hunter community was going downhill long before the current era that we're living in when it comes to Monster Hunter. The community's been going downhill for about 8 to 10 years. That's how long it's been. So, this is not a new phenomenon. And even back when it was good, people did that. So, yeah, I don't agree with his statement, put it that way. Now, a water lowdown. All weapons may have left on his own. I don't know. I don't know if he's been kicked. I'm struggling at this stage to work out who's being kicked and who's leaving of their own accord. This person seems to be a bit of a loose cannon. You'd make a good 3 Ultimate host, you really would. Everyone in the 3 Ultimate community these days is very much like you. He may even be one of the 3 Ultimate hunters, who knows. But then I wouldn't really imagine that he'd be foolish enough to consider that to be a Chinese virtue. Take it upon oneself to post their own quest and hope that other people do it without being polite enough to ask if it's an appropriate thing to do or not. Anyway. I will bring the Acantor God Sword and leave it at that. It's a miner's life. Except I won't be doing any mining. Because that would be a little inappropriate. More than a little inappropriate. I'm not really happy with any of this. I'm just going to go with Defender High. Because it's hyper and I'm using a greatsword, so there is every likelihood that I'm going to have a giant lava fish flopping on my face. Repeatedly. You have no arts. Oh, that was very clean. I wish you could read the chat. I'm in the way of it. But that was very clean. Just, you have no arts, kicks the person, departs immediately. Oh my god. I can appreciate that sort of thing. It's nice to sort of sit in a room with a person who's just laying waste to the whole fucking community. Because I've been through it all. I've played with them all, and it's not in my nature to do what he does, but it's very satisfying to be in a room while it's taking place, and I can just sort of sit there comfortably and just watch people being aggressively deposed. It's good. Anyway. Actually, before I engage this monster, I do need to quickly check something. I'm going to try and not actually fully minimize Twitch for fear of having to close and reopen it again. That's something I don't want to go into details about. Anyway. It relates to the fact that the Twitch app sucks. No, it's not. Okay, there we go. I'm so used to engaging 2 Lavazioth monsters in this location. Not in this particular game, but in Freedom Unite. Because usually if I'm hunting Lavazioth, it's not for fun. It's because I need something from him. In which case, I typically do the double quest. And so you're sort of negotiating the 2 Lavazioth that exist here and in that other area, and then sometimes they end up in the same area. In fact, rather frequently. This is a big one! Look at the size of him! Is it just me, or is he exceptionally large? I think he is. Oh god. No. Remember when I said that I'm going to have a lava fish flopping on me? Well, this is what I mean. That's the precise attack to which I was referring. Decided to roll through that, just for the sake of better positioning, but there's not much point of that because he's flopping around. When this monster decides to flop around, there's not much you can do about it. You can see that even if I'm standing almost in front of him, that tail can still reach me. Ugh. Greatsword is not a good choice for this monster because he is constantly flopping, tail swinging. He's essentially the epitome of everything that is unpleasant about Piscine wyverns. They turned up the unpleasantness to maximum with this monster. I just fucking missed him with that attack too. Should've, yeah. Did manage to get out of the way of that hip check. Of course, there are people who use the Acantor broadsword in Freedom Unite. I would not recommend that. There are a number of good raw greatswords in that game, and in my opinion, the Acantor broadsword is not one of them. But some people use it. There's a bit of a cult associated with it, to be honest, or there was at one time. And yeah, it's not a terrible weapon. If you compare it to the King Atalart's sword and the Shen Galden greatsword, it's just not really worth it. I will use Moonbreaker in a moment. I'm trying to make sure that I'm in a position where I can actually, yeah, I have a feeling there was a hip check coming now. You fucker! I suppose it's not your fault, you didn't really see what I was doing, but that's extremely disappointing. So about to get off the final hit of Moonbreaker, and then I just get shot in midair by someone spamming shells with their gunlance. And let me tell you why that's frustrating. Spamming shells with the gunlance like that is not especially damaging. I didn't just have my Moonbreaker 3 interrupted for the sake of good damage, I had it interrupted for the sake of pissing in the wind. So no, I'm not happy with that. Look at him go. Maybe it's not as lacking in damage as I thought. Maybe it was a Hunter art that I'm not familiar with. That is like a multi-shot Gunlance Hunter art that actually deals good damage. I don't know. Because to be honest, he was shooting more frequently than one would ordinarily be able to do, so... Or... shooting more frequently than one would normally be able to, so therefore... There's probably a Hunter art, which might be okay, damage-wise. But still... I'm upset. I will Brimstone Slash this, actually. Fuck, I missed it! I thought that I was within range of that. Would have been pretty cool, you have to admit, but god. Mickney Bus has fainted. I really did think that I was in range of that hip check. And if I was in range of it, I would have been able to have an excellent Brimstone Slash. The peak of opportunism. But no, I messed it up. I did not want to be here when he's popping out of there. It's a miner's life. What mining? It's a hunter's life. I'm here to hunt, not to mine. Just because it's in the volcano and I can mine here. I mean, I could be hunting in the Great Forest and calling it a miner's life. I mean, yeah, I could technically mine in the Great Forest, couldn't I? I'm in the deserted island. It's a miner's life. There's a mining area in the deserted island. Anyway. Fuck off. I don't know why I don't like that quest name, I just don't like it. There's obviously a quest description. Hey up. Been troubled down to mine. No sooner did we start work than a bleeding great Lavazioth turned up. We miners are no stranger to danger, that's... Okay. But we're not idiots, are you sure? If you could duff it up or summit, so we can get back to work, that'd be grand, tar. Okay. That's some American translator's idea of, a working class Englishman. Anyway. It's alright. No, God. No! Your flopping has reached heights that I don't want to bear witness to. I do not want to observe or experience that degree of flopping. Honestly. People who like flopping fish monsters need to reevaluate their lives and their preferences. Flopping fish, which this monster is, are terrible. I mean, how would you have me avoid that attack? It would be impossible to avoid it because literally it was the first frame of his fucking attack and I was right there, so I got hit by it. That is the situation. Alright. Get your level 1. I can barely see what's going on. I can see a whole lot of fish flopping around, but I can't see much of anything else. I'm going to... No, actually I don't need to sharpen up. Because I'm not using an elemental weapon, so I'll stay at orange. No, this is yellow, sorry. Orange is the next one down. I had best heal up. I'm going to use Moonbreaker, and I'm going to pray that I don't get flinched out of it this time. Let's find out. I did not get flinched out of it. Not too far away from a flinch, though. I've been flinched twice after having performed it. Because Micnimbus is doing an excellent job of hitting me. I suppose he's doing an alright job of hitting the monster. He is admittedly probably dealing more damage than me, because my DPS leaves a little bit to be desired. There's a lot going on with that Gunlance, and I don't quite understand what most of it is, but something Hunter Arts, Styles, Generations Ultimate, fancy new anime video game. Me? I'm just playing Monster Hunter, thank you. Thanks for that, also. I'm trying not to get caught in a hip check, and I succeeded. At least for that brief moment. Stop. I don't trust anything of what you're doing. No. No! It was good dive timing. I'm becoming one with the fish. I was charging my greatsword, what would you have me do? This is why it sucks to use greatsword on this monster. If you're stuck in one place and charging your greatsword, what are you going to do when he throws himself into the air and then flops on the ground? Alright. I like it when you do that because he can be knocked out. Not actually KO'd, I mean knocked out of the ground. That was what I meant by out. Alright. That's a dead Lavazioth. Took a little bit longer than I would have liked it to. Particularly because I don't like this monster. But whatever. Still a more substantial hunt than the Monster Hunter World Lavazioth hunt. I was pretty disappointed by the Monster Hunter World Lavazioth hunt. I was, first and foremost, unimpressed with the fact that he had returned. But yeah, he wasn't improved at all. He felt pretty bad. Now, Duratotus. Compared to Duratotus, it was a pretty phenomenal hunt. But to be honest, Great Jagras was pretty phenomenal compared to Duratotus. But it was a pretty disappointing change to Lavazioth in that game. But seeing him in all his glory in this game, and by all his glory I mean Frontier/Freedom Unite style Lavazioth, while it was refreshing, keeping in mind that I played this game after World came out because I didn't play Double Cross, I was in two minds about it. I was happy to see that he didn't suck as a monster design anymore, but also wasn't impressed to see that he was the same as his Freedom Unite counterpart in that he was fucking annoying to fight. And that he was a flopping fish. Anyway. VE Deluxe ticket. These VE tickets, I have to tell you, are really not worth much of anything. And I'm starting to get sick of accumulating them. Where are they? Here they are. I've only got 184 of these because I got rid of them at one point. These ones, however, I don't think I've gotten rid of. Got 15 Cosmic tickets. That's pretty good. Scrum entered the hub. I actually first read that as Scum. But Scrum is fine as well. Must be a footy player. I'm a footy player. Oof. Just enough to have the hairs on the back of my neck stand up. I play footy. Anyway. It's okay, you're allowed to enjoy that. I'll just think less of you for it. Which doesn't necessarily mean anything. Is it my turn? I guess so. Skip me. I say that because I don't take interest or joy in posting. I'm not sure what I'm reading here, Megalopoyo, but yeah, hello, I guess. I did see a greeting in there, so I'll respond in kind, and then outside of that, I guess, enjoy the video, enjoy the live stream, yeah, live stream. If you're watching it live, it's not a video yet, technically. Oh, it was a failed attempt at an emoji, okay. That makes a little more sense. Stonefist 2 is what you've come up with. At Hunter rank 314. Micnibus, you know what to do. He's willing to do it? Is he really willing to do it? Oh, fuck me. I'm not doing it. I'm gonna wait to see what Micnibus does, but by the looks of it, he's going to actually go through with it. I suppose there is no request for hunters to post G-rank stuff, which is the danger, but he seems to not mind. He seems to be perfectly happy to capture a Stonefist with a full G-rank team at HR2 requirement. Mate, I'd rather slowly insert a rusty needle into my eyeball. Fuck off. Oof. And that's a reaction to Stonefist, not to rusty needles in eyeballs. Okay, ABC Kev Kai. Human brave. You are a brave human. Yes, I can show you my set. That I can do. If you request it specifically, I'm happy to show you my set. But I have to wait to transmit data before I can do so. My set is a blunt greatsword loadout. Not specific to this sword necessarily, but this is one sword that works well with it. Got high grade earplugs to obviously avoid roaring from monsters, very important with greatsword, because greatsword is an opportunity-based weapon, and the period of time where a monster is roaring is an excellent opportunity for greatsword charging. We've got bludgeoner, which is obviously helpful when you've got low sharpness. The lack of a sharpness multiplier on one's base damage means that it has to be boosted elsewhere. In this case, it's boosted in a way that we can actually see it, rather than some back-end damage boost that we can't actually measure visually. It can be measured, obviously, if you're familiar with the mathematics of the game, but visually in the game you can't see it. But thanks to Bludgeoner, it can be seen, just not outside of the quest. You only get that bonus to the attack when you're in a quest. Then you've got Attack Up Small, self-explanatory. It's a bonus skill which is there, and it works. We've got Mind's Eye because I don't want to do attacks in my combo that don't involve charging and then end up bouncing on account of low sharpness. So for instance, if I do a level 3 charge and then press A once to do a round slash, just to continue the combo, I don't want to bounce at that stage. And then we've got Focus, which is also self-explanatory, relevant to the Greatsword, and the DPS related benefits to charging faster. These people are two-manning a Nagakuga. Why was it that this appeared as an option? Oh, it's because ABC is the quest, or excuse me, the room host, and he's not on a quest. That's why this appeared as a room for me to join. I wouldn't really say that this is a set for every weapon. I wouldn't use focus with every weapon. Because of the focus and the high grade earplugs, like these two skills in particular, are specific to Greatsword. It wouldn't be terrible to use with other weapons, but this is a game where I have a lot of different armor set slots, so I can make more specific loadouts for other weapon types. I use this loadout for longsword and sword and shield and switch axe when I'm running a blunt loadout. So if I'm going dual blades, I do this. You can see that there is a stamina skill involved. That's why there is a difference there. Excuse me, this, yeah, marathon runner, yeah. So again, I'm giving you different blunt loadouts that I have. This one is obviously specific to dual blades because of that stamina skill. We've got marathon runner and stamina recovery up on the same set. High grade earplug is there for convenience, but Mind's Eye and Bludgeoner are what is specific to the blunt loadout. So we've got Mind's Eye and Bludgeoner for blunt, Marathon Runner and Stamina Recovery up for the Dual Blades weapon type, and High Grade Earplugs just works well in conjunction with these other skills, because at the end of the day, if you have those other 4 skills, there are going to be certain armor pieces that will allow you to accumulate the skill points to get that, which leaves you with a limited number of options for good skills at that stage. High grade earplugs is one of your best options, given the armor pieces that give you those other 4 skills. So, high grade earplugs is a good choice. Your options are also widely expanded, dependent upon talismans. And maybe the talisman is what allows me to get high grade earplugs so easily. These people have returned from their quest, which is good to see. I'm going to make myself known so that they don't depart without me. If they did depart without me, that would be unusual, but not unprecedented. Other weapons do get benefits from focus, but I don't really think that they're worthwhile. I think with any armor skill you need to make a judgment based on how much more important is it to have this skill versus a damage skill. Focus for other weapon types is not really worth it in place of a damage skill, or a skill that increases DPS or things like that. So, yeah, I use focus exclusively for Greatsword for that reason. I'd sooner go for damage skills in other cases. This is my Blunt Lance loadout, and I think I will equip it. I forgot what was actually posted, but this will work just fine. Oh, it's Nagakuga again. A hyper one, actually. Human is looking at me while I very slowly sit down at this table. I don't think I need to do this, but I'm going to eat for insurance, seeing as though it's making an appearance in my attack food. So, yeah, that's fine. So yeah, just to do a rundown on the skills, we've got Guard +2 and Guard Up. Obviously that is specific to Lance. Repeat Offender is good with Lance for obvious reasons. Repeat Offender is the sort of skill that is going to get a lot of use for pretty much any weapon. Just a very good damage-based skill to have with a weapon. And then obviously Mind's Eye and Bludgeoner for blunt. And this Lance is very good. I like being able to use this Lance for this loadout because it's a very nondescript, almost Iron Path looking weapon that you just wouldn't use unless Bludgeoner existed as a skill option in this game. So for that reason it's enjoyable to use. And it's not just okay or passable, it's exceptional. I have 431 raw attack and plenty of green and yellow sharpness. It's worth mentioning that it's perfectly fine to enter yellow sharpness with Bludgeoner, but it's slightly better to be in green sharpness if you're running Bludgeoner with an elemental weapon, because sharpness multipliers also affect, don't want to make it sound as if I'm pronouncing with an E, it's with an A, affect your elemental damage. And the sharpness multiplier on the elemental damage through green sharpness is superior to that of yellow sharpness, and so technically it's slightly better to have green sharpness if you're using an elemental weapon. So that's how I understand it to be anyway. Just let the Nagakuga do what he needs to do and then head on in when the opportunity arises. Could go for the back legs for a trip. Very low on stamina, and also off position. Or out of position, however I want to phrase that. Just let him do what he needs to do. There are specific points where you can stand in relation to the monster, the Nagakuga that is, where he does his spitting attacks and you sort of stay out of his effective range. Most of the hitbox area is focused on the tail when he's spinning around like that. So if you stay close to the front of the body, you avoid basically all of that. I only got hit there because I was being aggressively flinched by the heavy bowgun user. Aggressively flinched. I think he's using pellet. I'm going to watch him to see what he's doing if he's using pellet. You fucking dickhead. Look at him go. Do I have a shout for this? I mustn't have a shout for this. It shouldn't be necessary. In this day and age, it should not be necessary to have to explain to a person not to use pellet online. I've got a lot of vituperative shouts in my verbal or written arsenal here, but I don't have anything. I can say that he's tremendously dumb. Why the fuck would you do this? Obviously, as a Lance user, I'm the person who's going to suffer the most as a result of this, but... A counter is R plus A. You have to hold A to go into a charge, and as long as you're hit before the charge goes out, you will perform a counter. In answer to that question. I don't really have any way to communicate to this person that they shouldn't be using pellet online. This is one of the problems with not being able to actually free type in a hunt. This would not be an issue if I were playing 3 Ultimate, but because I'm playing a lesser online Monster Hunter game to that of 3rd Gen Tri and 3 Ultimate, and the PS2 games for that matter. You know, in terms of online communication, this game is worse than PS2 Monster Hunter, which is pathetic. There's no excuse for that. But because I can't free type, I can't tell this person to stop using pellet. I mean, what are their alternatives? I don't know, but that sort of behavior is completely intolerable, because with certain hunters, not all hunters, but a large number of hunters, depending on their weapon type, they will be prevented from doing anything. Like, I am stuck in a permanent, practically permanent, flinch cycle for as long as he chooses to shoot his gun, because I'm using a lance, which is one of those weapon types that gets flinched easily. Lance and hammer are probably your worst examples of that, but sword and shield also. Dual blades, as long as you're not in demonized mode, will be flinched in that way. It's terrible. Pellet is completely incompatible with online play, and this person is probably using it because they don't know any better. But I can't tell them that they shouldn't be using it, because I can't communicate that to them. I haven't pre-typed a fucking message in the event that someone uses pellet, and the reason why I haven't is because you don't see it anymore. People almost understand it intuitively that it's a dumb fucking shot type to use online. But this ABC person apparently needs to be apprised of the bleeding fucking obvious. Oh my god. But yes, the Acantor breath only requires guard up to block it successfully. Guard Plus allows you to guard better in 2 respects. In the way that it reduces damage when hitting your shield, and also in how much you are physically affected by shielding it. So the amount of time that you have to take to recover from receiving the impact will be affected by guard, but they changed it in 4th Gen to make it almost chance-based to, I guess, balance the effectiveness of Guard Plus. There was a time when if you had Guard Plus 2, you would always have minimal recovery time when guarding an attack, but in this game and Generations, as I understand it, sometimes you'll have minimal recovery time and then other times you won't. The only constant in terms of effectiveness would be damage absorbed by the shield. I just feel less willing to even participate in this hunt because this guy is doing this. With his fucking pellet gun. Look at me. He's actually doing Valor heavy bowgun with pellet, which means that he's shooting pellet at a higher fire rate than in any game. You know what I'll do? I don't care. I've reached that point where my only choice... Fucking hell. Where is he? I'm just gonna wait until he's staying still. I'll do it, I don't care. I'll just... This is how I'm going to contribute to this hunt. Yeah, you can fucking lie there for as long as you want, asshole. Come on. Get into position. Fuck. I'm out of practice with this, clearly. Very out of practice with intentionally lance charging people. Have not done this for a long time. The problem is he can reposition pretty much whenever he wants because he's using a fucking Valor loadout. You dick. Yeah, I know you. What's going on with you? I actually regret that I didn't start doing this sooner. And I regret that since resolving to do this for the rest of the hunt, I've only hit him once. Aerial pellet is a little better for teammates, yeah. Not as bad. It's because you focus it in on the monster at a closer range. It has less of an opportunity to hit teammates between yourself and the monster. I hope it's not capturable. I want to prevent this guy from hunting for a little longer. Brilliant. Oh, fuck! Why didn't I think to grief him sooner? Why didn't I think to do that sooner? Damn it. I'm so disappointed that that was over so quickly. The thing is, I can't really plug in a keyboard to talk to him because the Nintendo Switch, because it's a shit console, doesn't actually support wireless keyboards, so I can't just unplug my keyboard from the Nintendo Wii U. By the way, the Wii U came out before the Switch. I can't unplug my wireless keyboard from my Wii U and plug it into my Switch and have that work, so I'm not going to whip out a wired keyboard just to type to this prick. But I'm going to do what I can to explain to him not to use Pellet Online. I'm going to have to slowly type to him. I'm going to wait until he returns to the room. It's not even going to be worthwhile. It's like having to carefully explain to someone not to talk about Fight Club. It shouldn't need to be said. It's an unspoken rule that everyone can fucking abide by. Everyone. With the exception of the mentally retarded. Seriously. I couldn't even contribute. He doesn't even have pellet up. He's such a useless pellet gunner that he hasn't even committed to increasing the damage of his pellet shots. What a fuckwit. I'm going to assume that he doesn't know better, but... Well, Human Brave has left the room. Possibly... No, he wouldn't have been kicked. Kev Kai says his gear is weak. Okay. Well, you managed to survive somehow. In the previous hunt. No, your gear's fine. Fuck, man. Well, your greatsword's not all that great. But... I want a response from this ABC person. I want an acknowledgement that... Okay, well, he's changed loadouts. I don't know if that's an acknowledgement of what I've said, or if that's just a change of loadout for this specific hunt. I'm really frustrated that I can't express to him, to impress upon him, with the urgency that I feel, that using pellet is just totally unacceptable. To start with, I can't really type as freely as I can in 3 Ultimate to him, and second of all, he doesn't seem to be all that communicative. He might not even speak English. I don't know. It's very disappointing. What the fuck are we hunting again? I don't even know. Can I remember what it is? Can I at least remember an elemental weakness? Not really. No, I can't remember what it was. Okay. I'm bringing the Zenoga hunting horn. And hopefully that'll make this hunt fun, because I've done Savage Devil Joe many times, not just in 3 Ultimate recently, but also in this particular game. So, I'd like a bit of variety. I'm really disappointed by that hunt. I don't think you guys understand what it really means to have played this game for as long as I have. Like this series, play this game series for as long as I have, and come across people who still don't get it. People who still need to be told not to use Pellet Online. It's just shocking. Like, you literally go through thousands and thousands and thousands of hours hunting with random people in so many games across multiple generations, and you almost never have to say it. Almost never. I could probably count on one hand the number of times I've had to tell someone not to use Pellet Online. I'm serious. And this is one of those times. It's fucking disappointing. And it makes me angry. The fact that a person needs to be told is an embarrassment. They can see what they're doing to the teammates that they're hunting with. They can actually witness it. But they willfully continue with a strategy that prevents other people from playing the game. That is actually stomach churning, because it demonstrates a total lack of consideration for other people. Oh, I'm doing damage. Well, it doesn't mean anything, does it? You are doing damage. Okay, well, you're hunting with other people, right? And, oh, sorry, it's not Freedom Unite. I have to remember how to use the hunting horn correctly. I'm trying to go straight into recital mode. God. Nope. Thankfully, and surprisingly, that Cephalos helped me out. Oh, I just need to see what my songs are. Oops, not that note. Get in here, Kev Kai. Your greatsword sucks, which means that it's the most in need of damage boost at this stage. Hello, Wrath. Don't interrupt my song. Cylian... Oh no, he's fine. For some reason, I thought he was at very low health. Some sort of optical illusion. Or I'm just dumb. One of the two. And this is what... I was about to say this is why I use high-grade earplugs, but then ABC... quite characteristically has completely fucked over my strategy. Because it's so important for him to play in the way that he's comfortable playing. It means nothing for other hunters to be able to do their thing. That's irrelevant. It's all about him and his experience. Dickhead. And the thing is, and I'm fully aware of this, there's every likelihood that there is no active intention to negatively impact the experience of others. He is instead most likely to be dangerously ignorant. Dangerous in the sense that his ignorance actually results in a negative experience for others. And, you know, that is, in my opinion, not any more excusable. Ignorance is not a fucking excuse. Look at him go. Yeah, really funny, man. It would be funny if you didn't do that during the confrontation while I'm playing Hunting Horn songs. You absolute prick. I just have no respect for people who can't watch to see how their actions affect the people that they hunt with. I have no respect for those people. Anyway, let's move on, do the best we can with this monster. Should be fine. I sense that the team is capable of handling this monster. I did press the B button to evade, should have successfully evaded it, did not. Life goes on. You think Deviljho's confusing to fight? What is it about the fight that you find confusing? Is it lack of experience with fighting the monster? I suppose certain fights can be confusing if you're not used to them. But if you fought a lot of Deviljho and you still don't really know what you're doing, then I don't know, maybe it is, for some reason, particularly confusing for you. I'm playing my attack song. We do have an exhausted Deviljho at the moment. Oh, need to do some self-improvement. Topping up attack while I do it, actually. Courtesy of the double notes. That guy's flying through the air. That was rather funny to look at. I don't know why I bother having Euphony even equipped. I never use it. And the reason why is because I find it easier to keep track of the team's song. What's the word? It's easy to keep track of songs needing to be reapplied if I myself match the effects of the team. I don't know. Couldn't quite work out how to describe that. I mean, I got the point across, but whether or not it was clear is another story. Fuck off. I'm trying to avoid this ABC guy. He's actually dangerous to be near. I do need to sharpen up soon. Sailin has died. I don't care if I hit you, ABC. I couldn't give a shit. In fact, it gives me great pleasure that you were the hunter that I accidentally super pounded. It's brilliant. Oh, fuck it. Now, I didn't actually reap the benefits of defense plus 15 initially because I had defense down. So I need to replay that. There may be other people who are also under the effects of defense down, so try and help them out. How the fuck did that hit me? God! How annoying is that? I do not want to get caught in a follow-up. Go away. I suppose I'll wait until Sailin comes back before actually playing my defense song again. Alright, he's coming in momentarily. I'm waiting for you, man. It's actually quite funny to watch a Deviljho rolling all over this desert sands like this. Do I have knockback protection as well with this hunting horn? Let's find out. No, I don't. That's fine. I don't know why I thought I did. I will use Sonic Smash. It's a very good skill, very high damage. Yeah, this team sucks. Yeah, the effective range of that Dragon Breath is unreasonable. Look at him go! I can't believe that he travels that much distance so quickly. He's a Devil Joe on a mission. A monster on a mission. Surprised I didn't get a flinch out of that. Sonic Smash is very damaging if you can get every single hit off, and I did. Would have been nicer to get it off on the face, admittedly, but that still counts for something. Why are you trying to eat me? You've just partaken in a meal. Oh god, I'm slow again. That was someone's attempt at a flash bomb. Not a very good attempt, but an attempt nonetheless. Don't hit me, please. It was very close. I was not expecting the movement of my playing of the hunting horn. I didn't mean to hit that. To actually get me out of the way of that Dragon Breath, but it did. And I'm happy that it did. Fortunately, I was underneath the monster this time, didn't have to deal with the Dragon Breath. God. No, I don't need some dodgy follow-up. Really not in the mood for that. I'll have to top up the attack song. Evidently, I'm boosting the damage of a shit team. So, this is not a very fast hunt at all. I'm also not playing very well myself, I have to say. I won't deny it, I could be doing a little better. I just end up in really awkward positions. I'll stop it. I end up in awkward positions when he breathes his dragon breath, so... It hasn't been a great hunt for that reason. I'll get in there, well, I'll consume a nullberry first, and then I'll get in there and play my defense up nodes. The thing with defense up is that I don't consider it to be as high of a priority as attack up, so usually what I'll do is I will play the notes from distance for attack so that I can get attack out as quickly as possible, and then for defense I will play it as one should by actually playing the notes while hitting the monster. I think Double Joe ended up over there. I believe. Just in case, I will. Okay, he is down there. Because he's about to die, I'm not going to bother with a hot drink. What are you doing? Is it your first day in this game? You're 500 and something. Oh, this ABC person just infuriates me. Oh, we're going for a capture, are we? Okay. He thinks that he can fucking shield charge. What's it called again? Can't remember the name of that hunter. Anyway, he thinks he can do that off that fucking cliff. He thinks he's gonna launch himself through the fucking air like Superman. Have you never played this game before? You can't do that. If you could do that, you would have done it much sooner. And if you could do that, you'd be seeing videos of people doing it. Ugh, I hate this guy. His ineptitude is both tangible and palpable. And furthermore, I don't like him. He's a little fuck stain, that's what he is. That's a good way to refer to him. A fuck stain. For those just tuning in and thinking that I'm being very aggressive towards a person who misunderstood the abilities of a hunter art, there's more to him than meets the eye, let me tell you. He's a dickhead. Yeah, Monster Hunter Freedom Unite Hunting Horn is a very different experience. And to be honest, I prefer the way Hunting Horn was in the older games. It's nicer when you slow things down a bit. I don't really like Hunting Horn when it's faster. Doesn't feel quite as nice. I'm not sure how to describe it, but... Look, I was entirely on board with the change to Hunting Horn when Portable Third came out. But in time, I have found that I prefer the recital mode Hunting Horn style. Not style as in Generations or Generations Ultimate style, but rather just referring to the design of the confrontation type. The design of the weapon itself. So, Kevkai was the quest host there. It is now Silen's turn, presumably. It is hard to... Well, this is the thing, Wrath. You've got two choices with Hunting Horn pretty much in any game, whether it's this one or Freedom Unite, for example. You either increase the chance of successfully playing the notes by staying away from the monster, or you get in there and hit the monster while playing the notes. It is a lot harder to do that in Freedom Unite, but people still do it, which is very impressive. I've watched people play Hunting Horn in Freedom Unite while aggressively hunting the monster. And I can't do that. I don't seek to try and play my Hunting Horn songs in Freedom Unite while actually getting in there and hitting the monster not only consistently, but on their weak points while playing the music. I mean, that's really hard to do. And that's a level of skill that I haven't reached with Hunting Horn in that game. So I think it's good that there is a breed of hunter that can actually achieve that level of mastery with the Hunting Horn there. It's something to be applauded, and it's something that was lost when they simplified the Hunting Horn in Portable Third. I don't decry the evolution of Hunting Horn. I think, well, I do for Rise. Rise completely ruined Hunting Horn, and I don't want to go into that subject. Rise essentially took Hunting Horn, threw it in the dirt, and stamped on it and pissed on it. And then all the hunters went, "Whoa! Hunting Horn's fun now!" Hunting Horn was a little complicated before. It wasn't all that comfortable. But now, I press one button. I press one button, two buttons, and then three buttons. And I win. It's so easy. And I'm dealing so much damage. I like the Hunting Horn now. Go fuck yourself. That's Hunting Horn in Rise, and that's without delving into just how much of an insult it is. Hopefully the degree of insulting design that goes into Rise Hunting Horn is sufficiently expressed in what I just said, but if it's not, too bad. I'm not going to explain it further. But I don't mind how Hunting Horn changed in Portable Third. I think it, whether or not it was a necessary change is probably a point to argue on. But I don't think it was a bad change necessarily. It didn't disenfranchise anyone, as far as I'm aware. And it didn't overly simplify things to the point where it lost its spirit or its meaning. Hunting Horn remained a specialist type of weapon, something that only specific hunters could enjoy. And Capcom saw that as a problem. They actually thought that was a bad thing. Oh, there's a weapon type that only specific hunters enjoy. Well, how can we change that? No. No. There's nothing wrong with that. That's a good thing. You've created a little community of people who decided to take up the weapon, decided to perfect it, and because they're part of that little group, they have a sense of identity. And it's a positive thing when you have something like that happen. There's no need to open weapon types up to literally everyone so that you can basically be hooked up to life support, barely able to move your limbs, and yet you can still use hunting horn effectively. There's absolutely no requirement for that, Capcom, so stop it. It's just stupid. Anyway, I tempt myself on a path of 5th gen based ranting, but anyway. Yeah, hunting horn and its evolution is a subject on its own, but mechanics are slightly different for hunting horn in Portable Third versus Generations Ultimate, Wrath. In Generations and Generations Ultimate, a change was made to sort of make it easier to perform songs. What they did was, they made it so that if you actually hit a monster while playing a note, it gives you a better note, a stronger note. And if you queue up all of your notes as the stronger double notes, they come up as not single clefs, but rather the double clefs. I forget my music theory, but you know, the double one. If you line up all double ones for the colors that you need to play a song, it will actually play both levels of the song. You don't have to encore it. And if you've already played the song effect at one level, it'll play the next effect plus your standard purple skill. If that's a confusing description, I can't really simplify it beyond that. It's one of the things that you'll notice as you watch me play with hunting horn, and I suppose I may as well do another hunt with hunting horn just to maybe demonstrate that. But it was a way, and I think a creative way, of incentivizing people to actually hit the monster while they're using hunting horn. It's a good thing, and it's a good way to approach it. They don't make it easier, necessarily, between Portable Third and Generations Ultimate to hit the monster while playing your music, but they encourage hunters to do it. It's a little incentive, and there's nothing wrong with that. Their mind was in the right place when they were looking to do that. I don't want any guild cards. I don't have space for them. I got a friend request. Forget guild cards. Someone wants to be my friend. Silien. Sorry, who are you? Not to be nasty, but seriously, I don't take random friend requests. This is a very ugly hunting horn, but it's functional, okay? The thing is, I don't know if it made a significant... Oh my god, if I get one more guild card, I'm gonna throw myself off a building. Why can't you all just send your guild cards in roughly the same length of time? Why does it have to be spaced out by 2-minute intervals? Or spaced out in 2-minute intervals. Anyway, I'm not entirely sure if having double notes really did encourage people to hit the monster more frequently with hunting horn. It may have done. It's more likely to have been an influence on people who are using hunting horn for the first time in this game. If a person used hunting horn for the first time in this game, they would probably go on to play with hunting horn in all the other games, whether they were going backwards or forwards, in a more aggressive way, because they were incentivized from the beginning to actually hit monsters while playing their songs. But that really is what the whole system of Portable Third was designed to do. This is the point. The way hunting horn used to be encouraged people to stay out of the confrontation to play their music because it was so difficult to successfully play the songs while hunting. You would have to take a moment away from the monster, outside of the hunt, necessarily, or specifically, to play your music. Portable Third tried to make it so that you could hunt while doing that. And so that was really enough on its own. But because time passed and people hadn't actually experienced Hunting Horn in Freedom Unite, they didn't have the benefit of the comparison. To them, it was still a little difficult to play their songs while hunting, so they added another little incentive in Generations. Let's do this, says Kevkai. Well, I don't really want to boost the damage of only 2 people. What's the monster? It's fucking Rajang. I'm not going to use a Hunting Horn, sorry. I'll use something different. I'll bring Dual Blades. Well, you still have to remember your notes in all of the games until Generations, I think. There's actually a way to keep your notes on the screen. Oh no, sorry. I understand what you mean. That's actually not true. In Freedom Unite, you can't see the songs that you can play anywhere. Oh, ABC left. Well, I guess I'll move on to... Sorry, guy. But yeah, it's true that you actually have to refer to a song sheet outside of the game to know precisely what songs you can play with any Hunting Horn in Freedom Unite. Whereas in Portable Third, you can actually check your equipment information for that Hunting Horn and get a list of the songs that you can play, and that remains consistent throughout all the games up until 4th gen, where in this game you can actually get all of your songs on screen permanently. You can actually see all of the songs you can play and be shown all of the notes that are needed to be played to have the song activate. So that was a level of simplification that I don't think was bad necessarily, but there are arguments against that. This person is completely glitched out. Maybe this is the guy who asks for his QQ account. Or asks for people to check his QQ account. Yeah, this is a truly glitched out room. This happens from time to time. I don't know if it's caused by network instability or if it's caused by Chinese characters confusing the game. But we've got W, with no hunter rank, and question mark at hunter rank 65,331. And you can see that there's some sort of message that's... Like, message 1 has completely glitched out and is going all over the place. And is, yeah. Hunter rank minimum 0, hunter rank max 0. It's a completely glitched out session, so... Yeah, that's the situation. Event quests with Samus and Zan. Okay. I knew a person named Zan. I don't think that was their real name. It was short for Alexander. I mean, I went to school with a kid whose name was Alex and people called him... No, his name was Alexander and people shortened it to Xander. But... yeah, Zan, I suppose, is another alternative to that. And the reason why I mention that is because I wonder if every person with the name XAN is actually named Alex. I do wonder this. 'Tis a thought. Alright. This is an event quest with Malfestia. Greetings, says Zan. Okay. I was about to say he sent it twice, but for good reason. Another person did join. It's not all about me. I can actually use Hunting Horn again, but I can't remember what Malfestio is primarily weak to. I don't think it's fire. I keep thinking it's fire, but I don't think it is. Malfestio. It's saying here that he's roughly weak to water to the same degree as he is weak to fire, but whatever. I'll use the Shell Castanet. Make it Freedom Unite style. It's one of the Freedom Unite weapons. The Hermitor / Cyanator Hunting Horn is still the ideal choice for Water Hunting Horn in this game. And it's very good. But it's called Twin Shell Castanet instead of Click Clack, which quite frankly is just insulting. I don't know why they did away with Click Clack. It was still called Click Clack in For Ultimate. So I don't know why it had to be called Twin Shell Castanet. I mean, Click Clack is a special name and a special presence in the series, and they ruined it by calling it Twin Shell Castanet. Fucking assholes. For the max upgrade, that is to say. I'm going to purchase some drinks and then I'll be ready to go. What, someone's saying let's do this? You can see that? Let's have a look. No one's saying let's do this, fortunately. Marquis is asking if we want to do White Fatalis next. With all this Nesset weaponry, my answer is no. But I'll go along with it if you must. I'd fucking rather not. My preference tends to not mean much anyway. Quest has started. Time limit 50 minutes and there's a pink monkey who already wants to hit me. Oh shit. More than one pink monkey. Yeah, Fatalis is a good fight in these games. He still feels like Fatalis should, but he's not shit. I'm of the opinion that Fatalis was a pretty bad hunt in the first 2 generations of Monster Hunter. But you sort of develop an affection for him anyway. Because he's Fatalis, come on. Well, in the interest of showing you how Fatalis is in these games, I'd be happy to do it next hunt. Let me double check my songs. Seems to be the same as the previous hunting horn. Oh god. Bad direction to roll in. Start off with self-improvement. Yeah, the big difference between encores in this game versus Freedom Unite is that once you queue up the notes, you can actually encore without having to play them again, which is good. Oh, this is bad. I was not expecting a follow-up immediately, which is why I was basically standing right there. Oops, wrong note. Interestingly, red is X plus A rather than just A, which is how this hunting horn differs from the previous one. The notes are the same, but the way you play the notes is different between this hunting horn and the previous one. So that is a little confusing, but anyway. I can make adjustments where necessary. If you're wondering how I played 2 notes very quickly there, also you can see how I've only got double notes here. Take notice of this. I've only got double notes queued up, so just to demonstrate, these are powerful notes which will actually give me both of these at the same time. Once it comes up. Oh no, never mind, it gives me the previous one that I played, so I'm glad that I encored that just for good measure. Okay. It ended up, so I was sort of wrong that it does the same effect but twice, therefore removing the need for an encore. But it's nice either way to have. But how I was able to play multiple notes there really quickly was through this attack here. It's actually a double attack in one. You hit circle once for a single attack, and then the follow-up is actually a double attack, which you can actually use to play more than one note. So for example, I'll just queue up a purple note to demonstrate. That double attack can be used to play more than one note at once. So circle, and then I can actually, well, I got hit. But, oops, I'm confused. So for example, Every time I want to demonstrate it, this fucking bird hits me. I'm sick of it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to show you. But basically that double swing, you don't have to play the same note twice with the double swing. You can actually alternate, which lets you queue up notes rather quickly. It's good as a strategy, but only if you happen to need a blue note in the middle, like I do for this particular song, which is Defensa. Which I probably don't need to play again, but I'm doing it anyway. Got an itchy nose. And I'm not referring to Ichinose, the game designer. The bird is knocked out. It's about fucking time. Let's use Sonic Smash. And he's dead. Good night. But yeah, I'll demonstrate that attack that I was using. They didn't actually introduce the double swing in Portable Third. That was from Monster Hunter 4. It's this here. See that double swing there? You can see that I'm playing only blue notes here, but I don't have to do that. I can do this instead. I can actually swing in a different direction. I don't think I can do it with... Let me see if I can... No, see I can't... Oh no, I can. That's brilliant. I can actually do it with X plus A to do... Yeah, I can play whatever fucking note I want with that double swing. How good is that? That's quite brilliant. I've never used the double swing to play an X plus A note, which would be triangle plus circle, I should say. When I say X plus A, that's triangle plus circle. Magic Realm Key, that's a DLC material. An event quest item. Don't know what it is used for, but I've got 14 of them now. So I can probably make whatever it is, but I don't know what. This is a game with a lot of content, so I'd be going through a huge list of armor and weapons. P2. Down for Fatalis, I'm just going to say it. Well, it's already been posted, and it's purple. It's a purple quest. It might be Fatalis. Let's have a look. Oh, it's a Latreon. This is the event Latreon. I don't know if this team can handle that. I was worried about this team being able to handle a standard Fatalis, but this is event Latreon. I'll bring a Pierce Bowgun. I'm not happy at all with this quest choice. I'm genuinely concerned. I suppose even if we fail, we can at least make a good attempt of it. I'm currently using the mainstay for Pierce gunning in the series. The only exception really being Freedom Unite. This is the first... Oh no. Yeah, I suppose it's really only 1st and 4th gen where you would use this gun. It wasn't really used in 2nd gen as a Pierce gun. It was a fine choice, but there were better ones. For example, Nagakuga in Freedom Unite. Maybe it was fine in Freedom 2 and DOS. Maybe those were fine in 2nd gen. But particularly 1st gen and 4th gen were where this gun really shone. But 3rd gen really wasn't an option for this gun for the reason that there was no Crimson Fatalis. So, there you go. This is a heavy bowgun, I should say. You can see that it's folded up. This is not a light bowgun. This guy is getting very excited with his Guild Bard loadout. You don't often see people doing Guild Bard transmog in this game. It's very 3rd gen. I didn't bring ammo. Holy shit. Let's see what I've got in my pouch. I might be lucky and I might have some pierce shots, but this is bad. I got too caught up talking about my gun. What have I got? Holy shit. At least I've got some pierce shots, but this is a bad time. This is not good at all. I forgot to bring ammunition. So, a good thing about gunning in this generation is that you do get internal ammunition. This is ammunition that is given to you in every quest because it's actually already inside the bowgun that you have equipped. I've got some flaming shots, which I can use when Elatrion enters flight mode, but god, this is not good. I don't even have combination materials. This is so bad. This is the event Elatrion. This is the worst possible quest for me to forget to bring ammo. Whatever. Talismans, see, I should mention for people watching the VOD, I have a person here who's watching me play this game who has a very limited understanding of any Monster Hunter game that exists after Freedom Unite, and it's a great privilege to be able to explain these things to this person. Talismans are very similar to decorations. They're the same in that, just imagine that you've got an extra equipment slot just for decorations, but the talisman already has like skill points on it. So this here, it's got guts +4, recoil +6, and it's got slots as well. So you can actually add decorations to your talisman. These are things that you get by chance while hunting. Sometimes you get good ones, sometimes you get bad ones, and you can take them pretty much whenever you want because you've got a lot of space to store them. Let me switch to Flaming level 2. That'll be good for this mode of Elatrion. Yeah, Portable Third is a fine game. I'm assuming you're from Hunsterverse. That is a community that, for no good reason, rags on Portable Third. I don't know why they do it. It makes no sense. They are purists in the greatest expression of the term. They are basically people who can only enjoy what makes 1st and 2nd gen special. There's so much that makes 3rd gen special. Portable Third was very simplified in certain ways, but it wasn't simplified in a way that detracted from the spirit of Monster Hunter. This is the important point. So I think it's wrong to dismiss Portable Third in the way that they do. There's a lot of good stuff in that game. Alright, we're in land mode now, so I'm returning to Pierce. Oh, the tail is already cut. Well, remember, tail health is a percentage of full health. So, if the tail's already been cut, I think we've got a good team. This is the event Elatrion, and the tail has already been cut, so I don't care how persistent those guys were. That is a very quick tail cut, which means they're dealing good damage. That's good stuff. Let's get a supernova ready. Oh shit. I don't think... Oh, that actually seemed to make contact. Whatever. Let's get the flaming back out. I vaguely remember you in Freedom Unite chat in Hunsterverse. I don't know, there's a lot of people that I come across. No, I think I remember you, yeah. Mucky is like, I got a mantle from the tail, you poor bastard. That's a scale. It's not a rare item. It's a scale. He is a newbie in every sense of the term. I got a mantle. I used to joke about that in 3 Ultimate. Mum, get the camera. I got a pallium. Oh, look, a mantle and another pallium. They're just the regular drop names. Anyway. Better load my gunpowder infusion. I really want to hit the head. Ugh. I have to stay out of range of that. It's also very important to not be too far away from the monster while shooting these flaming shots, because elemental shots do have very limited effective range. Ugh. Trying not to hit the wings. I do not think they are elementally susceptible at all. Yeah, I don't think Greatsword was a good choice for Elatrion. I would not have done that. I've definitely done a lot of solo runs against Elatrion with Greatsword in try, but that's solo. And that's very different. Because in solo, the monster is constantly on your position. So if you know how to position yourself right, you can get very consistent hits off on the monster while avoiding damage, which is good. But if you're using Greatsword with a team against a monster like this, it's not good at all. Like right now, those Greatsword users can't really do anything. They are actually ineffective. Ineffectual. They can't do anything. I don't know if I actually... Oh god, forget whether or not I achieved a blast explosion. That's fucking pointless. I'm too busy being dead. I guess we had someone die before me, I didn't notice. Oh my god. I don't really have anything to say about how that quest ended up. But what I do know is that I have to respond to a text. I'm sorry. I'm so... I don't know. I'm a slave to the technological age. I'm being distracted by my mobile device. Alright. No, I may as well be. If I'm going to sit here and be distracted by my mobile device, I may as well tell you what I'm doing. Okay, so I recommended to my girlfriend Picos Hank, which is a guy that I've been following since 2013, who does tornado videos, and he's so good. Like, he's just generally amazing. I've been following him for a long time now, almost 10 years actually. Yeah, 2013. I forget that it's 2022. And yeah, she really quite likes that he also does music and all that. And I suppose we're quite visually similar. So yeah, he's good, and always good to pass on the love for Picos Hank. So, for all of you watching my stuff and you're interested in natural disasters and good cinematography, check out Pico's Hank. There's every possibility that you've already seen his stuff. I used to be a patron of his, but during the lockdown of 2020, I had to stop giving him money because I didn't have much myself. So, yeah, I haven't actually returned since then to his Patreon, but it's fine. It is what it is. He'll get by. Zan says, "My lord, pick something, please." Okay. Yes, I do realize that 2013 is 9 years ago. I said that it's almost 10 years ago, which is significant. Anyway, they don't want a Latreon anymore. Well, they're gonna get fucking Fatalis. I hope they're ready. White Fatalis. Not Wit Fatalis, but rather White. W-I-T-E. Come on. White Fatalis. I hate having to very slowly type on an on-screen keyboard when I'm so used to having free type in 3 Ultimate, which is a game that came out before this one. It is completely inappropriate, as I previously mentioned, for there to be more functionality in online communication in a game that preceded this one. It's not right. It's... And this was something that I expressed deep disappointment about when this game came out. I had a recording where I literally launched this game for the first time on Switch and was left totally gutted by the fact that online communication was as poor as it was here. They didn't attempt to recreate the Monster Hunter 1, Monster Hunter G, Monster Hunter DOS, Monster Hunter Tri, Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate online experience. They just ported a fucking 3DS game to the Switch. That's all they fucking did. And that's not good enough. Maki says, defy the prophecy. Which is one particular quest for White Fatalis. White Fatalis ends up being a very similar hunt to regular Fatalis in this particular game, because the confrontations actually take place in the same location. Castle Shrade in this game is a smaller arena location. And then you've got the same volcanic area that I just fought a Latreon in for Crimson Fatalis. I will bring Hunting Horn for this, actually. Dragon. Magnestar Eden. Now this is a respectable Hunting Horn, for sure. Defy the prophecy. I don't know what the prophecy states, but I'm happy to defy it. If the prophecy states that we must fail, and that Fatalis must swallow the world and eradicate all life, I'm happy to defy the prophecy. In fact, the information's probably in the quest info. When the great dread emerged from the depths of the world, none could hope to oppose it. None, that is, until the bravest of hearts appeared. Despair turned to hope, and with it, the chance to turn the tides. Hunter, the glory is all yours. This is very important lore, by the way. I mean, they say client folklorist. It's not just a joke. Like, that's actual first-gen lore. So, it's good to see it. He does summon lightning. I just mean that in first and second gen, well, I guess in the case of White Fatalis second gen, there's a different location for all 3 Fatalis monsters. But in this game, there's just 2. Let's start with the Dragonator. I'm going to ping for it. The best way to start the confrontation is to bring Fatalis... No. You are the one who wanted to do White Fatalis, and yet you... You fucker. This is how you're supposed to do it. Get up here. You're putting yourself in harm's way. Yes, come on. Hurry up. I hate it when people can't just commit to a strategy. What are you doing over there? Look at him go. How hard is it to get from there to here? Samus has completely ignored... Oh, sorry, I thought Samus was down there. I was completely confused in that moment. Alright, he's going to fly down, and then we're going to Dragonade him. It's as simple as that. Alright, Samus ended up hitting it. It's fine, doesn't matter. One way or the other, we need to get the Dragonator at the start, because it's easy to do. It doesn't take any fucking time, it's free damage, and all it requires is for the team to coordinate in such a way to get the monster in front of the Dragonator, which is not hard. But I guess it is when the team is dumb. I would say that was more or less successful, but I've had pretty unsuccessful attempts at doing that. For those who have watched me play this game for a long time, can attest to. I've had real problems getting people to do the Dragonator at the start. Real fucking problem. You'll watch and see how Fatalis moves. It's a little different, but it's still Fatalis through and through. They've just built upon the same Fatalis we know and love. They haven't changed him fundamentally. They haven't made huge improvements. They've just turned him from a bad monster into a good monster. That's really the situation. I'm watching to see what he's doing. Don't want to get caught in any of those. His fire, or in this case lightning balls, are pretty scary. Snap and drag? No. Oh, we've got a mount. This is something that's quite unique to 4th gen. Oh, he just got fucking thrown off. You should be apologizing. Zan is apologizing right now. And he should be. Because he just robbed us of an excellent opportunity to hit the head of this monster. Very disappointing. Damn it. Didn't really want to do that at time. Looks like I already need... Oh, here we go. We've got the lightning attack. So let's see how this changes. You can see him flying off into the vortex of fucking thunderstorms in the distance. And he summons down the lightning attack that he does in 2nd gen as well. It's not too difficult to avoid. And then he comes flying back down. Check this out. This is how you do White Fatalis. For anyone familiar with the old White Fatalis hunt of 2nd gen, there is a lot of waiting around. waiting for him to finish flying in some direction to do something that probably isn't going to kill anyone anyway, because it's so slow and predictable that you're likely to die of boredom before you die to the monster. That's the problem with old White Fatality. There is no such problem here. I'll be playing my attack song now. Hopefully I don't get interrupted. It's going to be bad news if I do get interrupted, because it will mean that I'll be getting hit by a very damaging attack. Oh, we've got some lightning. Marky keeps fucking pinging for it. This is very dangerous for me to be encoring at this stage. I did it anyway. It's funny how he keeps pinging like we don't know what's happening. I think we all know what's going on. We're all on the same page, but he feels the need to ping for it anyway. Oh, I got wind press though. Managed to destroy that. It was the worst time for that to be destroyed. It looked ridiculous from a cinematic perspective. Because he had already finished landing and then he sort of just moved around and then the little tower block broke. Okay, this is not good. He's gone and done this at a time when almost no one is there to take advantage of it, but that's fine. It seems that in the end we were able to get in close to the head. He used a binder, which is siege weaponry, to bring the head down. That's really what that means. It keeps the monster in place, but particularly it makes it so that the weak point can be hit by the whole Blade Master team, which is a big deal. I don't want to spoil it for you. Yakumo Sumeragi, whatever. But the person talking is the live streamer. That's who's talking. It's me, Doomlink. Hello. Whoever's talking. I've never heard something so absurd in my life. You know precisely who's talking. I'm not some random guy. Like, someone didn't pull me off the street to do a vocal commentary for Doomlink Live. I am the streamer. Hello, and welcome. Anyway. Whoever's talking. Anyway, is that our second or first death? I'm not sure. I don't think we had a death prior to this point, so... Yep. One of the good things about Hunting Horn with this monster is that the high mobility lets you avoid the Thunder Rain attacks much more easily, which is a very good thing to have. Mobility is welcome. Speaking of which, I just lost it. I'm actually waiting for Zan to return to the confrontation area so that I can boost the attack of the whole team, not just 3 out of 4 hunters. Anytime now. Spilled a little bit of wine on my controller. I did not intend to press the R button. Stop it. This is bad timing. I do not actually have increased movement speed. Maki has died. He has apologized also. Oh shit! I think Fatalis missed the ledge, but that's not allowed. If this were first or second gen, he would have fallen down there and it would have been very funny. But in this game, there are fail-safes in place for him to automatically snap into the right position if he misses it. Oh, very funny. You say this is the second feint? Okay. I must have missed the first one. The reason why it's not clear is because there is a feline skill in this game called feline insurance. What it means is that when someone dies the first time, it doesn't actually count as a death in the quest. So the second person dying actually is defeat 1 of 3. That's how that works. Oh, sorry, wait. Am I going crazy? I must be, I don't know. Maybe we actually did have a second death that I didn't even notice right then and there, or a third death, I don't know. I'm generally confused. I'm going to stop trying to clarify my confusion at this stage. Is the Dragonator ready to go? Wow. That guy actually knows the timing of the Dragonator being recharged. Good on him. Come on. Get down here. I think that's going to be out of position. Don't press it. I'm glad he didn't. I'm going to get up there. That's the best place to be when you want to have the monster line up with the Dragonator. No, actually, Wrath. That is something that is unique to these games. The health of this monster is not going to be saved if we fail to kill it. That's because that whole system of Elder Dragon repelling does not exist outside of 2nd generation. Oh god. You completely missed and you caused us to waste our time. Maki's response is, no! And Zan says, oh hell nah! Just because you can't read it, so I have to express it for you. But, yeah, that was definitely disappointing. Because we all committed to that, and we didn't get anything in return. Which is terrible. You just hit me out of my encore, you fuckwit. Ugh. I suppose it's not a terrible thing. I mean, we're having to wait for the monster to stop casting down thunder anyway, so... It's not like a damage boost to the team would result in... Oh, fuck. Well, there we go. That was not a special White Fatalis, that was a standard White Fatalis. It could have been better, but maybe it could have been worse as well. The second failed Dragonator was sad. I'm not saying we would have succeeded had it gone through, but yeah, we didn't last as long as I would have liked, and we certainly didn't succeed. Yes, it was, Yamatori-san. Young Garuga in 1st generation, not just Freedom 1, but in Monster Hunter 1, G, and Freedom 1, was a slay/repel quest because it was treated as a special quest. It was a purple quest that could be repelled, and it wasn't a standard Garuga as you or I might know it from 2nd and 4th gen. That monster had a lot more health in that game, or in that generation in general. Anyway, I'm going to bid you all farewell. I hope you enjoyed this recording. I will see you next time I'm doing Monster Hunter. That is enough for me for today. I will see you all next time. Bye bye.